Cybersecurity continues to be one of the fastest growing sectors in the technology industry, with an estimated 2.7 million global job openings for cybersecurity professionals. The US Department of Labor estimates that cybersecurity sector is going to continue to experience a growth of about 33% annually between now and 2030. So if you're looking to get into a fast growing sector, then maybe you want to consider getting into cybersecurity. Hello and welcome, Cybersec Squad. Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be looking into the exciting world of cybersecurity certifications for entry level. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching another one of our videos. I'm so glad that you're here. Just before we dive into today's topic, I have a quick ask from you. If you find our content interesting and engaging, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you enjoy this video, please try to give it a thumbs up and a like so that the YouTube algorithm knows that, and that helps us to produce more great content like this. So give us a like. As we all know, the cybersecurity industry is one of the fastest growing industries globally. It is estimated that there's a 2.7 million opening demand in the industry. And the US Department of Labor estimates that the cybersecurity industry is going to grow at about 33% annually between now and 2030. So there's a lot of room for growth. There's a lot of opportunity in the industry. And if you're looking to get into cybersecurity for the first time, this is probably one of the best times to get into cybersecurity. But people say you can get into cybersecurity without actually having a technical background, and that is true. You don't have to have a degree in computer science or anything of the sort to be able to actually get into cybersecurity. However, some people also have the school of thought that you don't have to have a certification, and that is also true. You can actually get into cybersecurity and get a job and get a role and do not have a certification, but a certification helps. A friend of mine did give an analogy once, which I'm going to piggyback on here. Think of driving a car, being able to drive a car. You can drive a car, and you can tell all your friends that I can drive a car. But then you can then go to the licensing office, get a driver's license, and then you can show people that you can actually drive a car because you are licensed to drive the car. So there's a third-party validation of your abilities by the licensing office before you get that driver's license. So you see the difference, right? You can do it, no one doubts that, but a third-party validation actually gives you a better chance of being able to drive a car. And if you're stopped by the cops on the road, show them a license, then you can you're licensed to drive. It's the same thing with certifications in cybersecurity. You can, show that you know the experience, you have the experience, you know the foundational principles, but then having a certification makes it infinitely easier because then you've got a third-party validation of your abilities to actually do cybersecurity roles. So that's why it's quite relevant and important, and also very helpful for your career if you do get a certification in cybersecurity. So for an entry-level role, what certifications do you want to be looking at? There's quite a few certifications people will take. But if you want to actually get into cybersecurity, we're going to be focusing on two, which are considered right now considered the most entry-level certifications you can get for cybersecurity that are broad-based, that cover all areas of cybersecurity. And one of those is the CompTIA Security Plus certification, and the other one is the Certified in Cybersecurity, also called the CC, that's from the ISC squared. Both of them are industry standard. Both of them are vendor agnostic, so which means you're not tied to any vendor. So you can take them and you can work in any sphere, you could work with any platforms. They all just cover the basics of security. So the Security Plus and the CC are two of the most well-recognized entry-level certifications. So let's look at both of them side by side today. Let's look at Security Plus and compare that with Certified in Cybersecurity, and see which of them would be the best for you. And if you have already one of these certifications, let me know down in the comments which one do you have and what made you choose to do that one. I would love to hear from you. Let's talk about it, starting with the CompTIA Security Plus. Like I said, it's industry standard, it's vendor neutral, and it basically covers the foundational principles of cybersecurity, the concepts and the skills that are required. It tests your knowledge of network security, cryptography, and risk management. And it's ideal for entry-level professionals or those who are transitioning into cybersecurity. So it's really well good. The certified in cybersecurity, on the other hand, it's a relatively newer certification. It was recently introduced by the ISC Squared organization, and it's targeted at people who are trying to get a foothold in the cybersecurity industry. And it tests foundational skills as well, to show that you have a fundamental understanding of the basic requirements to be able to work in a cybersecurity role. And another common thing with both of these exams, anyone can take the exams. You don't have to have a prior certification. You don't have to have a prior abilities. You can choose to take the exam, prepare for it, and take it. Now let's talk about prerequisites and requirements for both of these exams. For the Computer Security Plus, officially there is no prior specific prerequisite, but there's a couple of things you need to know. For the Security Plus certification, it is recommended that you have at least 2 years of prior experience working in a security related role or a technical role. So it's not required. It is recommended though, which means having prior exposure to security roles or technical roles would help you prepare better for the exam. Also with this Security Plus, it is recommended that you have a prior CompTIA certification, particularly the Network Plus, because that would expose you to some of the concepts and principles that are covered in the Security Plus exam. So while there's no prerequisites, it's recommended that you have 2 years of prior experience and also hold the Network Plus certification. For the ISC Squared, certified in cybersecurity CC, you don't have to have any certification. None of them is important. You could come straight from your role in whatever industry or field and just go right into the exam. Read the material and take the exam. If you pass it, hey, you're certified. So you can see where it begins to diverge. The Security Plus, while it doesn't have any prerequisites, is a bit technical because the questions on the exam are actually technical. You have to actually show that technical skill, whereas with the CC, it's not as technical. Now let's talk about the benefits you get if you have one of these certifications. If you get the Security Plus certification, it helps you establish a strong foundation in cybersecurity principles. So you understand all the various principles of cybersecurity, ranging from risk management to network security or even cryptography. And it is widely recognized by employers globally, so it's going to qualify you for several entry-level cybersecurity roles. You should be able to actually get in with those and actually understand what you're doing once you start doing that on the job. With the ISC Squared CC, in addition to getting the certification, you actually also get membership of ISC Squared, which is a highly esteemed and respected industry body for cybersecurity. It allows you to demonstrate basic knowledge and understanding of cybersecurity principles, and it actually, due to the membership opportunities, it actually opens doors to so many more job opportunities by virtue of being a member. And if you really want to get into the whole experience of cybersecurity, you can actually build on some of the ISC Squared certifications like the CCSP or the SSCP or the CISSP, which is the granddaddy of all cybersecurity certifications. So with the ISC Squared certifications, really it's a matter of doing what really interests you. And with the Security Plus certification, you can actually also decide to actually further and get more advanced certifications like the CISA Plus or the CASP. And both of them allow you to actually gain a bit more hands-on experience, as you go into the role through entry-level positions or through internships. And you can also explore other industry-related certifications like the CISM, Certified Information Security Manager, which is from ISACA. You can also take the CISA, which is the Certified Information Systems Auditor certification, also from ISACA. So there is indeed a whole lot you can do with these entry-level certifications. It doesn't really matter which of them you go for. If you have a technical background, then maybe the Security Plus would be better for you. If you don't have a technical background, then perhaps the CC would be your option. It doesn't really matter which one you do. Either both of them are both globally recognized and would get you a role, an entry-level role in cybersecurity. I also want to mention an honorable mention to the SC 900, which is a Microsoft certification. So if you're going to be working in the field or in a company or in an industry where it is a strictly Microsoft shop and all your environment is the Microsoft environment, Azure AD, on-prem AD, Active Directory, and all of that, then you might want to consider the SC 900, which is the Security and Identity Fundamentals, which is a Microsoft specific certification in security. So unlike the Security Plus and the CC, which are vendor agnostic, the SC 900 is a Microsoft certification. But either one you do would get you an entry-level role in cybersecurity. So I hope this has been able to actually help you understand how certifications work and what certifications would actually get you a foot in the door. And one of the things I always say to people is this: if you say, hey, I can get a role without certification, yes, you can. But think of it this way, particularly if you're coming into cybersecurity from a different field. You spend the time to pay the money, read the material, prepare for the exam, and take the exam and get the certification. What that does is that it shows to employers that you are invested in this career and you've spent some money to improve yourself, to learn a bit more, to get a certification. If you wouldn't invest in yourself, why should any employer invest in you? So if you do want to actually do well, yes, while you might get in without a certification infinitely is better because it shows that you are invested in the career and you really want to make this a success. And then the employers are willing to bet on you once they see that from you. So if you ask me, I think you should take a certification. Which one should you take? That's totally up to you. I hold the Security Plus, I hold the CISSP as well. You can take either one of them. It doesn't really matter. If you're scared of a lot of technical stuff, do the CC. If you don't mind, do the Security Plus. Or if you want, do both of them. And then you can compare and tell me which one is better. So I hope you've been able to take a lot out of today's video. The differences between Security Plus and ISC squared CC, how you can get into a cybersecurity role, and how an entry-level certification can help you to do that. If you want to learn a bit more about cybersecurity, what it is and how to get into cybersecurity, and a little more insights about that, I made a video recently. You can click here to see that video. There's also going to be a link down in the comments to that video as well. Look at it and that will give you some insights as to what cybersecurity is all about. So let me know down in the comments below. What do you think? Are you planning to take the CC? Are you planning to take the Security Plus? Or if you have any of them already, let me know as well. Which one was easier for you? If you have both, did you find it easier? What made you choose one over the other? Until next time, thank you for watching another of my videos. Once again, please consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy this content. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like, because that helps us grow on YouTube. It helps with the YouTube algorithm as well. And until next time, thank you for watching another of my videos and take care.